purpose of this video is to expose a few of the nefarious plans of the global elite, and also later a market forecast. For now, the Strong Cities Initiative. This states that if any given U.S. city is deemed weak due to gang problems or strife between the citizens and the police, if signed, the U.S. government can fly in UN international troops to patrol said cities. This overrules the local police. UN peacekeeping troops would be the new normal. That's why they created the dialectic between the police and the black community. There are myriad alternative media outlets who allege that the basements of some Walmarts that were closed housed some of these UN troops. Next, we'll cover bank bail-ins, sponsored by the Financial Stability Board. The FDIC fund only covers $250,000. The FDIC has $46 billion in its fund. The depositors represent $4 trillion. The derivatives traders represent $14 trillion, almost equal to the U.S. national debt. The oil derivative bets are mostly traded by the big banks, who are first in line to be covered by the FDIC. The only way they, the banks, won't need to be covered by the FDIC will be if oil rises substantially and hastily so, which is highly unlikely. If crude oil doesn't rise above $65 per barrel soon, those banks will owe $50 per barrel, which they don't have. 16% of their assets can be used for a bail-in. In the event of an economic collapse, the pension funds will buy this debt in the form of bonds, which will ultimately be paid for by the depositors. So, in effect, the holders of the retirement funds, e.g. pension fund holders' investments, are reverted to stock in an insolvent bank, leaving them holding the proverbial bag. This, in a nutshell, is a bail-in. The president is to sign the 2010 IMF reform, which means the BRICS countries will be given substantially more voting power with the SDR, special drawing rights. The International Monetary Fund has finally voted in China's favor for inclusion in the special drawing rights currency basket. Now, here's the most nefarious part, the 7-year plan. There are 3 7-year plans. The first plan entails the one world financial system, which will be from 2016 to 2023. In other words, they're going to crash the Western markets, with the U.S. being the prime target, because you cannot have a one world system with a country, with the sovereignty or the perceived sovereignty that America holds. So they're going to be sacrificed, and this system will be crashed, and it will recover in 2023. And once that year gets here, then we go into the next one, the one world government. And that will be, governmental system, and that will be from 2023 to 2030. And finally, the one world religion, which spans from 2030 to 2037. Now, last but not least, the forecast. The peak was last year. The peak in the Dow Jones and the S&P was last year on May 19th, 2015. The crash, which will be on May 9th of 2016, will spell the end of the Western Eurocentric paradigm that mathematically began on January 1st, 1492. Today, presently, is January 22nd. I expect the Dow to drop until February 22nd, at which point it will hit 14,236. Take the price with a grain of salt, because time trumps price. So the important thing is that it will make an intermediate low on February 22nd, and then it will rise one last time until March 18th, and that'll be the final high. That'll be a test of the high last year. And then it will coast sideways to downward until May 9th of 2016, and this will be when the crash occurs. Meanwhile, in the metals, gold and silver should hit a low by March 16th, 2016. Gold should be at around 986 or so, and silver will be at 1275. They will coast sideways until May 9th, at which point they will skyrocket.